Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Satyajit and you're watching Satyajit's Artwork. In today's video, I'm going to speak about a very important aspect of painting that is quite undermined when it comes to painting. Now, from the thumbnail and from the title of this video, you can understand that the topic that I'm going to discuss today is about edges on painting and how it actually helps in your realistic paintings to make the subjects look realistic as the way how you wanted them to look. Now, initially speaking of the realistic paintings, when we speak in general, then we speak about a lot of the different aspects which includes values, color and the texture and some other aspects as well. But this particular aspect that I'm going to discuss today is really the most essential part of the painting process when it comes to realistic paintings, because without that you cannot actually create a three-dimensional effect in your paintings, irrespective of the fact that how hard you try and how much color you put on your paper. So this particular aspect is arguably the most important one. So speaking in brief about the edges, I think you can understand that it is about the sharp and the blunt edges of the different brushstrokes in a painting. Now when it comes to realistic paintings, we can understand that it's nothing but an accumulation of a lot of brushstrokes put together so that they can actually act as assembled brushworks rather than just looking kind of like impressionist in nature. So in realistic, we actually start with individual brushstrokes, and as we progress forward, we try to make all those brushwork look a whole unit so that they can work together. So in that case, this particular aspect, that is the edges of the strokes, becomes very essential. If you don't follow that, then it will not create that sense of emphasis on certain areas and you won't be able to capture the light and the shade on certain areas. Everything will look kind of flat. It's not about the painting alone is associated with this particular aspect. There are some other things also that are like not associated with painting, but the same things, the same psychology applies in all the aspects. For an example, in life, if we come to know about a truth, then there should be a false that should counter that truth. So our mind and our whole thinking process actually works like that. We kind of think in a relative manner that if there is good, then there will be bad. If there is truth, then there will be false. If there is dark, then there should be light. So that is the concept which is really an important aspect when it comes to painting subjects in realistic manner. As you can see in this particular portrait also, I just painted with layers of paint one over another. So I just let a few layers of the paint dry before applying the next layer. But when I applied the next layer, it is not like that I'm just clumping them one over another. I'm trying to merge them with the previous layer. In certain areas, I'm just keeping them sharp. For an example, that effect of light you can see by the side of the lips. You can see that this area is intentionally kept quite sharp so that it can give the effect of the light capturing in that area. Whereas in forehead, you can see that I have blunt certain areas so that it doesn't look that forehead is creating a lot of peaks and valleys of the light and shadows. So this particular aspect can be used in variety of ways to make your subject look more like a realistic subject, because in nature everything is not sharp. If you just look at a flower also from a certain distance, then you will see that certain petals are quite prominent and some of them are quite blurred. And that is what our DSLR cameras these days tries to mimic when we capture something with our camera by focusing something and then just blurring out the background. But when our eyes visualizes something, then it just works on the same principle but on a more precise manner. So whenever we are doing something of realistic aspect, we should be considering this fact. At this stage I'm just trying to put this particular area where I'm just trying to replicate a painting which is actually not done in realistic manner, that is very completely different. But you can see then how these edges are going to impact this particular portrait. As you can see, I'm just putting the blocks of colors initially, and then I'm just trying to create more textures, and with that texture I am putting certain textures to be prominent and certain textures to be very subdued, so that it doesn't catches our eyes that much as the prominent ones. So if everything is prominent, then nothing is going to be prominent. So that is the concept. So you have to understand that which areas you need to make prominent and which areas you don't, because at the end of the day it is how our mind works, it is how our sense organs are actually designed for. Our sense organs captures those information that we were actually familiar in earlier time, and then actually it sends those information to our mind, and our mind filters it to create a visual perception about that particular subject or whatever painting, anything it can be, in our mind, and eventually we can relate to that particular thing. So from that prospect also, it is very essential that you give enough attention to this particular aspect rather than only focusing on values, colors and the other aspect. All those are important, but without that you can actually see that difference by yourself. Just for an experiment, you can work on a painting following this particular aspect that I have shared today of edges, and one painting you just paint it randomly with your best possible skill sets, with the best possible use of color and the values, and you will surely see the difference. The painting where you just use the concept of edges, of keeping the sharp and the blunt edges, that will be more realistic in nature than the one where you might have put a lot of effort, you might be even better skill wise, but that won't look as realistic as you want. So realism is all about mimicking the nature. We have to understand the nature very well in order to make something realistic. So it is not about mere copying of the things, that whatever some people say that realism is all about copying the things. It is not about that. You have to understand the different symmetries involved in the process, and you also need to capture them to the fullest in order to make your work look more realistic going forward in the future. So I hope this video was helpful and you learned something out of it. With saying that, I would like to conclude this video and see you soon guys with my next video. Till then, take care and stay safe.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to support my work, then please do like, comment and share my works, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, which is very important, so that you get notified as soon as I post a new video.